having a card of my own was pretty cool. And, my mom loved it, and she collects a lot of them.
It was awesome. I can't forget it. My mom's got every single one of mine that's ever come out, so.
Coming up on this episode of MLB's Carded, we talk to one of the most sought-after card artists on the scene, Alex Pardee. We also hear from our own Alex, carded correspondent Alex Gimo. And I talked to Mike Trout about his personal collection that he's building for and with someone very special to him. But first up, while I was traveling around the spring training camps in Arizona, Topps released their 2023 Series 1 set, and I had a chance to catch up with the guy who's on the cover of this year's packs. Check it out. You cannot have a show called Carded about baseball cards without the guy who's on the #1 baseball card right now in the industry, Julio Rodriguez of the Seattle Mariners. Are you blown away by what your baseball card is doing right now in the industry?
I mean, it is different. It is different. Like I haven't collected many cards, but I know it's doing pretty good. So I'm happy about it. I'm happy that I can generate some stuff for some people out there that do really good collecting cards.
I tried to get a prospect card of yours and went on eBay, and it was only $99,000. Can you believe that?
That's a lot of money for a baseball card.
It's amazing. So are you collecting at all yourself?
I feel like I'm getting into it this year. I'm going to get into it. I'm going to try to collect a few cards, and yeah, I'm going to see what I can pull off this year.
Are you going to try to collect a couple of Julio Rodriguez cards?
I might. I think that might be a good spot to put my money on.
I would probably say it is. When you saw your first baseball card, what was that moment like?
Oh, it was amazing. It was amazing because I feel like when I was a kid in the DR, I never really thought that could have been a possibility back then. So as soon as I saw my first baseball card, it was like, man, I could not believe that happened.
Now, there are a lot of baseball cards of you out there. Is there a card that you see that you like that pose the best, or you like that image of you?
I think there is this specific card that I have like eye blacks and stuff like that, and I look really mean. And I was like, man, that guy is going out there to win. So I feel like that's one of my favorite cards, and also my rookie card. That I feel like I remember that game. I hit 2 home runs that day, so
yes,
I will never forget that game and never forget that card.
There are so many collectors. The business is booming. What people don't know is when you are the hottest baseball card in the industry, everywhere you go, there are people wanting you to sign their cards.
Yeah.
So it's a blessing, but is it a curse in a way too?
A little bit, yeah. Especially when I feel like there are some people. I feel like there is people that are nice, respectful, but there's some others that are not as nice or respectful. So I feel like that's whenever it gets hard. That's whenever it gets hard, whenever they're like trying a little bit too hard for it.
All right, last question from me. If you could trade one of your Julio Rodriguez cards for a card that's signed by your favorite player growing up, who is your favorite player growing up?
Oh, I had a lot of favorite players, man. But I feel like I want to get like an Ichiro rookie card or something like that.
Oh, an Ichiro rookie card.
I feel like that's one that I would love to add to my collection. I feel like that's somebody that I feel like I can get to spend some time really close, and there's a lot of things that I'll be able to pick up from him, but I feel like that's a guy that I would like to have in my collection.
He's hilarious, isn't he?
Oh, he has the best one-liners ever.
He's funny. Ichiro's hysterical, but his baseball card is not $99,000 like J-Rod's. Dude, thank you for your time, man. That's
Thank
awesome.
you.
Well, if you've been watching our show, you know that we at Carded are big fans of the card art movement. But did you know that the top 3 selling cards from Topps Project 70 and 7 of the top 10 were creations by Alex Pardee? Now, we sat down with the artist to get some insight into why his artistic style really resonates so much with card collectors and what it meant to him personally to add his art to the legacy of Garbage Pail kids. Watch.
We'll just mess around with it. couple more things on this and then we'll move on.
Describing my style has always been something that was hard for me to do for such a long time because I felt like I had so many different things that I wanted to do with my art. I was fascinated by bright colors and kind of old cartoons, but then I was also equally as fascinated with like horror movies and monsters and weird stuff. And I combined all that stuff. And for a long time, I described my style as confusing. But then at one point a few years ago, this word came to me, which was a brightmare, which is a bright nightmare. And once I kind of like figured out that word and applied it to what I do, it made describing my style a little bit more easier because I'm just like, oh, I create these brightmares, these bright nightmares. And that seemed to kind of allow people to understand it a little more. When I was younger, I lived in the Bay Area. I was a huge Oakland A's fan. I wanted to be Ricky Henderson. That was my superhero for a certain amount of time then. And so I was on the lookout for pretty much every Ricky Henderson card. I actually got involved with baseball because of a friend of mine named Roger Gassman, who he's an art curator and art manager and art collector. And so he actually was working with Topps on the previous project, Project 2020. And he kind of like saw that people reacted to a lot of the more interesting art versions of the cards and that kind of stuff. So when he reached out to me, it was like, oh, that actually sounds like amazing. Like, yes, let's try that. Like, let's try to inject some weirdness into these baseball cards. Like, yeah. I think when I was picking my players, I was literally just looking for what excited me. Not really going based on like who was popular, but based on kind of like who resonated with me, right? Like I would watch highlights and I'd be like, oh, Ronald Acuna Jr. is like smiling all the time. Like that's cool. Like I like his energy. So I'd pick him. And I didn't know who Shohei Ohtani was before going in. And like I heard the name, but I didn't really know. And then to find out kind of like actually his insane abilities, I was just like, oh, that's awesome. Like he's in there for sure. So, you know, like it was just stuff like that. Ever since I was in 3rd grade, I've loved Garbage Pail Kids. So when I got the opportunity to do Project 70, my backwards way of thinking was, oh, this is a Topps project. Well, maybe if I do good at this, maybe then someday I'll be able to do Garbage Pail Kids. And then sure enough, after Project 70 was kind of like almost done, then Topps kind of approached me and said, hey, we got the licenses for MLB for Garbage Pail Kids for the first time. Do you want to be involved? And I was like, yeah. And now it's kind of like seeing these cards in a new light of seeing them as just small paintings that you can put on all over your desk, right, or whatever, and you get the same amount of inspiration from something no matter the size of it. So taking something big and shrinking it down and seeing it, it's kind of equally as powerful in my mind. So I think that aspect is also resonating with a lot of people that are collectors, and it's becoming kind of like this cool, like it's an art collection.
Come on, you know what Mike Trout cards are worth. A ton. If you're lucky, you may even have a few special ones in your collection. So what has inspired the man himself to go from a guy on the cards to a guy collecting the cards? I'll let him explain. Mike, good to see you. When I think of baseball cards right now, I'm sorry, I'm just going to be honest. I've got a binder of Mike Trout rookie cards. Can you believe what your likeness has done to an entire industry like baseball cards?
Yeah, no, it's pretty crazy. I wish I would have. I collected them as a kid, and then once the baseball started picking up a little bit, I didn't really collect them that much. And then ever since I had my kid and my son and started collecting them for him, I really got into it, and I'm really deep into it right now. It's just it's one of them things where it's cool to pull a card or open a pack and, get your favorite player. So,
I mean, how many Mike Trouts are in your collection?
I got a bunch of Mike Trouts in my collection. I wish I would have kept some earlier ones, but hey, it's good for the people that they have them cards, and it's cool to see, young guys come up. You got Julio, everybody's chasing Julio this year.
Right.
Obviously Shohei's card's unbelievable, but I'm really into it, and not only just baseball, I'm doing all sports. You got it's just a chase that I like, buying a case or a pack or a box and, opening it up and, getting that big card and, texting your friends, look what I got, it's pretty cool.
Now, you also have the access of seeing all these other superstars in the
Oh, yeah.
game. So you're Mike Trout. I'm going to guess if you send a baseball card over to another dugout and say, hey, man, give me a signature, I'll give you one of mine. You're kind of getting whatever signature you want, right?
I mean,
Do you play that game, or do you?
no, I mean, I'll send it. I'll go up there and ask him first before I send it over. I'm just going to send it over.
I mean, you can't do one.
But yeah, no, I think you know, if you're a special player, and you know, if you're in the show, I mean, you're a special player, obviously.
Yeah.
But you know, if I have a card that I want to get for the collection, of course I'm going to send something over for sure.
So when you were a little guy, who was the player, the vintage player you wanted to
Vintage, I wish it was Jordan when I was like,
Yeah.
but I don't even know where them cards are. But I wish I still had them somewhere. But as a baseball player, like Griffey cards, Jeter, you know, like a young Albert. Yeah.
The Ken Griffey Jr. in the 80s. That was
Yeah,
hard to get.
sick.
So are you putting a collection together for Beckham, your son, now? Is that what you're trying to put together?
Yeah, so, you know, I got my own collection, but they're going to be all his. You know, there's some guys that, you know, you pull. You know, I was last off season, I was not just baseball, I was chasing Jalen's cards because I knew he was going to go off this year. So I got a bunch of Jalen Hurts cards. You know, it all depends. Like, obviously chasing the Eagles, and then guys that, you know, young guys that are coming up. But I have my little collection of mine, and then I have Beckham's over here. So, but I'm sure eventually he'll have all of it. So.
Well, eventually, like right now, I got a binder of Mike Trout rookies, which I'm very proud of. But eventually, I'll have a binder of Beckham Trout rookies, which will be even better. Mike Trout, awesome, man. Thank you for joining us on Carded. Awesome. That was such a cool experience to get to talk collecting with one of the guys whose image is what makes the hobby what it is. But what about the men and women who take those pictures that wind up on the cards we love so much? We spent a day with one of those photographers to get a little insight into what it's like from the other side of the lens.
I called the Topps trading card company after I started shooting for 4 or 5 years, and I said, I think I could do this. And he said, yeah, we get this call about once a week. And stay in touch with us if you want to, but you know, we'll let you know. And I got a call on a Friday night, and he goes, is there any way you can get to Cincinnati tomorrow? And I went, oh my gosh. And I made a reservation, got there, jumped on the field. Literally, Andres Galarraga standing at first base, taking some balls, just messing around a few hours before the game. I jumped right on the field, got in here like this, and I'm shooting, and he's posing and smiling at me. And I sent the film in. The guys at Topps looked at it and said, hey, these are great. How'd you get this stuff? I said, well, you know, when you get to the ballpark, sometimes there's guys working out, and you get on the field. He goes, you know, you can't do that on the field. And I said, oh, yeah, I know. A security guy got me and said, hey, kid. And he pulled me off, but made some pictures. This is my first trading card. The Topps Trading Cards Company has been around for 70 years. And when it first started, you know, there was a guy named Cy Berger, and he was the creator of the modern-day baseball card. Everybody that I ever met in the business of baseball knows who Cy Berger is. We all know each other, and I'm just fortunate to be out here doing it every year. We have a hit list of guys that we have to shoot. It's gonna get fast and furious here. You have to work quick. So I had a little line yesterday of players. The first card's always kind of exciting, I think, for players, and they don't show it. They try not to, right? How many photo days have you done?
This is my first one.
Yes, let's go. Trading card, let's do it. Yeah, jump right in there, all the way.
Yeah, my rookie card, it's a Bowman card where you shot it.
I shot the picture.
Shot the picture. And it's one of the cards, maybe the most card I signed is probably that card. When you get done pitching though, your hand's already kind of going like this from like the adrenaline and like doing stuff really high speed for a while, and then you get off and you can't do anything. They've used that terrible signature for the last 23 years or whatever, so. I mean, what in the world?
Photo day, this is where you can get everybody, and I think you saw it today. We think we probably had 70 plus guys come through here. Eyes right up here, big smile. That's a baseball card, thank you. Yeah, it's great. I want to do this thing for a really, really long time, and I've gotten to do it during a time where there's some pretty awesome individuals who played the game that I was just lucky enough to be on the field at the same time, and so, you know, I just want to stay in this as long as I can do it.
1989, I was invited by the Angels to Major League Spring Training, looking around the locker room at all these veteran players. And back then, if you were a rookie, you kept your eyes down and your mouth shut. But we all got back to our locker one day, and in the top of our locker, every player had a plastic case. And I pulled mine down. I looked at it. It was that Topps baseball card with my picture on the front of it. And you know, it really is a dream come true. I collected cards as a kid. I traded them with my cousins and my friends and organized them. And, you know, really is, it's one of those milestones in your, it's a quiet milestone, but it's pretty darn cool.
Rookie cards. We love them. We can't live without them. We chase them. And with the introduction of the debut patch, Fanatics and Topps have given collectors something new to seek out. Carded correspondent Alex Pardee gives us her take on what some people are calling the ultimate rookie card. Watch.
Major League Baseball has long led all leagues in on-the-field authentication, so it made sense when Fanatics and Topps announced that they'd be putting MLB debut patches on rookie jerseys, only to be taken off and put onto one-of-one cards to be found in packs. If we compare them to the other leagues, is the equivalent of the Logo Man card. These are cards that feature league logos taken off game-used jerseys. The debut patch is baseball's version of a Logo Man, only 1,000 times cooler because a rookie only makes one debut. There's only one patch we can strip off Anthony Volpe's sleeve from the first time he rocked pinstripes. There will only ever be one Jordan Walker debut patch card released into the universe. And whoever's lucky enough to find that one will own a legitimate piece of MLB history. But the question everyone's wondering is, how do I get my hands on one? Topps hasn't released many details yet, which makes this even more exciting, you guys. I don't know about you, but the anticipation is killing me. Personally, I'd love to see these patches distributed across all of their products, just like, you know, how Willy Wonka did it. But let's address the Oompa Loompa in the room here. Do these debut patches now become the rookie card for the given player? It's subjective, but for me, the answer's simple, no. The Volpe debut patch should end up being the player's rarest and most valuable card, but in my opinion, the true rookie is in the modern Bowman set. No matter what, this debut patch is going to be fun to track, and it's got me thinking about that big hobby question. What constitutes a rookie card? Way back when, it was pretty easy. Willie Mays has one 1951 Bowman release, and that card is recognized as his rookie card. Not much to debate there, but it gets more complicated later. Take Bo Jackson. Some collectors say his rookie is in the 86 Topps traded set, and others might say it's the 87 Topps. Ken Griffey Jr. too. Is his 89 Topps traded the true rookie, or the 1990 with the Rookie Cup? The rise of Bowman as a prospect-heavy set made it even more open to interpretation. Mariano Rivera had multiple cards issued before he even threw a major league pitch. So is this very 90s-looking 1992 Bowman his true rookie? Or do we need to wait until he's wearing a big league uniform, or any uniform at all for that matter? Getting even more modern, Julio Rodriguez has a similar long list of potential rookie cards, although I don't know if any have the pure style of that Rivera. How could they? And some collectors might say nothing matters until they see that little RC logo in the flagship set. The answer is something that I love about the hobby. It's up to the individual preference, and everyone gets to collect how they like. In the end, though, there are a few things that don't feel up for debate. One, that Mariano card is out of this world, and we need more cards just like it. And two, the debut patch has added another awesome card to chase, and I can't wait to see where they will show up.
You know those Topps 2023 Series 1 cards we were talking about earlier with Julio Rodriguez? Well, I got a pack of them right here. Now, if you want to pick some up yourself, scan the QR code on your screen. As you know, we always end each episode of Carded with a pack rip. Card artist Alex Pardee, he was nice enough to rip some of those MLB Garbage Pail kid cards that he designed. And while you see who he pulls in his rip, I'm going to rip this pack and see who I pull. Thank you so much for watching, and guess what? We'll see you next time on Carded. This is the best part of the show right here. So what we got? Christian Yelich. Take some Christian Yelich. Rhys Hoskins. Jeter Downs, rookie card, Red Sox. I'm in. That goes right there. That goes right there. Tyler Malley, Tanner Rainey, Bobby Witt Jr. rookie card. Are you kidding me? Score. This was not staged. This is an authentic pack. Guys in the crew are raising an eyebrow to this. No, I had no idea.
Cool. So this is one of the boxes of my Garbage Pail Kids set that I did, and we're gonna rip it open right now and see what I got. 5 base cards and 1 chase card. So let's see what we got here. There's Anaconda, which is the twin name of Bo Bichette. Each one of them has 2 different names. There's that. Magic Wander Franco. This is one of my favorite names that I made, actually. Magic Wander. And the chase card we got is Bobby Witt Jr. Based off this. Some of them I used inspiration from old classic Garbage Pail Kids. So a chase card like this is basically a limited variant. Sometimes it'll be a chrome version, which is kind of like what this one has, or sometimes it'll be maybe a signature one, maybe one that is gold, some crazy stuff. But it's basically a super limited variant of one of the base cards. And actually that's not always true, because a chase card can be a completely different card, but it's a limited card. It's within the set. So there we go. Ironclad Vladimir Guerrero Jr. This one was one of the most fun ones that I had to design. Also one of the most hardest ones, because I don't normally draw straight lines. So drawing metal is usually really hard for me. I'm an organic, wrinkly, stretchy guy, as you'll see with Anthony Rizzo here. Bow Constrictor, Bo Bichette. There we go. Using a snake for a baseball bat, because why not? And here's my self-portrait card, wearing the same thing that I am now.